You join our community, then you can register for our discourse. Learn how to build an activated altar. Because what the altar is for, it's a modem. Listen, it's a modem that puts your psychic center online with the spiritual universe. And in one tier, or within one field of the spectrum within the spiritual universe, is the human afterlife, purgatory, limbo, the wasteland, the underworld. And you can pick up on the transmissions that's coming through there if you have an altar, right? Now you have a station to place your offerings on. Now you have a station in a space in your home where you could communicate with them. You hear me? And a home that does not have an altar does not have a solid foundation. I'll say that one more time. A home that does not have an altar in it, it doesn't have a solid foundation that is able to function from. It just doesn't. And people here in the Western world don't have altars. Most of y'all got an altar for your television. You go into people's home, they got an elaborate setup all around their TV. Then they put their plate of food in front of it and they give their offering to the television. You should have been giving that offering for your grandmothers and your grandfathers. But they put their life on the line, right? Every time a woman goes into labor, there's a 50-50 chance that she lives or dies. You owe her that ashe. I don't care if your mama was a bad mama and she didn't take care of you. She did her one job, and that was to have you, right? No, your car can't be an altar. Do you live in your car? Yeah, you got to get out of that situation. I done helped many individuals in our community that was living in their car, living on other people's couches, living in shelters, and I bring them up out of that impediment. I show you how to get up out of there under your own volition. I ain't going to do it for you, but I show you how to use the hand at the end of your arm and give yourself some help. And I would get those testimonies out, but I don't want to undermine the integrity of some of the things that get shared with me on a personal level with people. But that's the message that you getting today, sister, is that you need to bring your life to a point to where, because you can't have an altar if you ain't got a crib. You know, a lot of people like, shit, I stay with somebody. Then guess what? If you stay with somebody, you need to get your own shit so you can do your own thing. They didn't leave their blood in your hands for you to be struggling, for you to be in a displaced disposition, situation, or circumstance. They've been sending you signs, indicators, and messages the whole time so that you don't go in that direction. And we just disregard it and don't even listen to it. You listening to other people outside of you. And that could be a friend. It could be your own mother. It could be your own cousin, your own sibling, telling you some bullshit. But they don't want to see you doing better than that. You hear me? You've been getting the message the whole time, but you listening to Tabitha try to tell you some old bullshit, and she don't got your best interest, not like your grandmama. You hear me? Your grandmama been trying to send you the message the whole time, and you're not even listening. For everybody that was in here when we first, I had 7 people in the room, and I burnt ancestor money for their dearly departed. Right? We waited about 5 minutes. I said, let's see who come in here. Maybe a little longer than that. And I said, okay, these are the people I'm going to burn the ancestor money for. Right? These are the people I'm going to burn it for. And after I burnt that money, you seen all these people started coming into the room after that? See how these people started popping up after that? That's because y'all dearly departed. They like, yo, man, this nigga trying to, he burning money for everybody. Get your ass in there. It's too late. The shit over with. It's done for the day. I don't owe them a debt of gratitude, but y'all owe your people a debt of gratitude. And like I tell my melanated Nubian people, a non-ether identification, your leverage is your spiritual power. You will never rise in a monetary system, just as they will never rise in your spiritual system. Your power is in the spirit, and you're disconnected from it. You got a guesstimation about who you are. You're speculating about the connections that you're making. You're not even certain, right? And they're highly aware of that. That's why they got pentagrams and pentagons every damn where and got you binded to them. And it's putting you behind spiritually, causing you to keep having to incarnate again in order for your soul to be appropriately educated. And it's taking longer than it should. You're not living up to uh, the agreement that you made to incarnate into that bloodline. Not living up to it. You're just not. They have a blueprint laid out for the course of your life, and you're not following it. You think you got a better damn what's the name, but it's their blood. That's their blood. That's not your blood. Until you have children, you don't have no blood. That blood belongs to them. So this is a warning for a lot of you guys to get it right. Because if you don't get it right, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be like, damn, man, we sent you across to somebody to help you time and time again, and you're not listening. So the custodians of that bloodline will reject you for incarnation back into it. And now you got to go to some war-stricken country, and the custodians of those bloodlines will be like, yeah, come on, we'll let you into our bloodline. And then the pink man will put it on TV and say, oh, look at this war-stricken country and what's going on. But you don't know what those people did in their last lifetime to put them in that position in this lifetime. That takes some spiritual discernment. That takes some spiritual awareness. That takes some spiritual knowledge to understand why these things are taking place in the physical world. You're going to have to ask the question, Tiziana. I don't understand all of that. Because that's a speculation too, right? You don't do no ad-libbing. If you ask the question, I could give a concise answer. Anybody else? Any other questions we have? Let's tap that screen. Tap the screen for me. We're going to take it up to the board. Y'all know what we do, man. We're going to take it up to the board early, man. It's the Hootie Rudy Thoth Day. Come join us in San Antonio. And we got another event that's going to be coming up in Atlanta. We're doing that one in November, right? The ethos. The ethos, that's the spiritual application. I don't want to call it review, but that'll be coming up next. Or excuse me, next we got the Lionsgate Portal. That's August the 8th, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Y'all tap the screen. I need to take a water break. Some of this soursop bitter in. Shouts out to the 1089 Tech community and the AAA Academy and the AAA alumni. Shouts out to you guys, man. I appreciate y'all participation and support. We got over 200 members, over 40 students that belong to our community. And we're going to go through it today. Anybody got any questions? Any questions? Now's the time to ask them. Please put them in the comment section. Please, you guys, reserve the comment section for people that have questions so that they can get the clarity that they're seeking, right? Don't ask me nothing that you could just Google right fast. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But like I was saying before, you are very minuscule on this planet. You're minuscule. And this goes out to the people that call themselves gods. Then my friend Real as introduced. Shouts out to Real and the soul in the R18 soul family. That's my family. If he sent you here, then you really need to get in alignment. And like I said, I help a lot of people that's in displacement. But as my supreme grandmaster teacher before me said, the helping hand that we seek is at the end of our arm. And you got to be willing to use it. You know, I don't do a bunch of talking. We do a whole bunch of doing. You gotta do the do in here. And I ain't talking about Mountain Dew. We talking about divine order. In order to get on the frequency of divine order, it's going to take alignment. Once you get in alignment, you start to get synchronized, right? Start to get synchronized to the signal of your higher senses. Divine order brings you into alignment with the synchronized versions of the signals that are moving through your senses. And far too often people keep disregarding those things because y'all keep trying to listen to this pink, pale beast that don't have no divine connection to nothing. Check their ledger. Said you call yourself Ptah because it represents copper, right? You guessing. I don't call myself Ptah. I call myself Ray. The name of the business or the brand is OrgoniteTEK. And it does include copper in its makeup, right? You skipping too many steps, lemon lime. Remember earlier I said a lot of y'all trying to eat tomahawk steak and you still ain't, and you don't got no teeth in your mouth yet. You still need to swallow the milk. You feel me? You need to eat the Gerber first. And because you're trying to make sense of something you're not even able to process yet, right? But Ptah is the opener, right? And of course, that is the 29th element, the 29th deity. The 29th element called copper, right? Copper is a conduit or a medium for heat, electricity, sound, and light. It opens the pathway for these things to be conducted. You follow? Heat and electricity uses copper. They both use copper. Sound. When you got a speaker box, you got an amp. It uses copper wire to conduct the ability to transfer the sound. Same thing with lights on a circuit board. It's using copper. You follow? But OrgoniteTEK is the name of what I do or the business per se. That's not my name. You know, I'm Dr. Ray or Ani Mseti Ray Hetek. That's my pen name. I have many names and many titles. Ani Mseti Ray Hetek. Right? And then I say Pata Baby. That's a handle. That's a handle, beloved. And Pata spoke creation into existence. That's you misinterpreting it. But again, start from the beginning. Don't try to jump into the 12th grade when you're still in the first grade and try to figure everything out. Don't do that to yourself. I just got through saying that with our database. It's a lot of information. It's a lot. Don't try to get on the page that Ricky on. Don't try to be on the page that AP on. Don't try to be on the page that Keith is on. They done been here for a minute. You followed? I came across them. They jumped right on in. It was like, shit, man, I'm about to take that discourse. I'm not playing, right? And they don't got it all figured out. I'm not saying that they got it all figured out, but I watched these people take it a bite at a time. Take it a bite at a time. Ask reasonable questions. Shouts out to Shamari, the questionnaire. Because Shamari used to ask so many questions. Now he don't ask that many questions. Not as many questions as he used to, but when he do ask questions, he asks a great question. And I could tell what you understand based on what you've been studying by the questions that you're going to ask me, right? But y'all need to get the 9-grid system down. And that's for my people in the tech community. Y'all got to get the 9-grid system down. Learn that. One of my students was like, yo, Doc, I'm ready to start selling the medallions. You know, send me a bunch of pendants so I can sell them. Right? He said, I'm learning the 99 net rule. Do you pour your libations every day, Zay? Are you pouring out your libations? You're not pouring out no libation and calling on them names of those people in your bloodline, but you calling on the 99 net rule. That's not going to get no ashe. That's what they want you to do is call on your dearly departed. Call on those before you. Get them they ashe. And they'll open up the channels to the 99 Netaru, right? It's a pecking order that needs to be honored and acknowledged. You know, we've been taught, we haven't even been taught, we've been programmed to accept the curriculum. I couldn't see that. Do you pour libations every day? Rahubat. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doctor? Shinzu Food. Ani Nazorent. All right. So here go the little body. This is called the Earth cord. That's the first chakra in your feet. That's connected to the deity Geb. Then you got the root chakra, right? That's connected to the deity Asaru. Then you have the sacral. The sacral is connected to Anubu, right? And this for everybody, but the 1089 tech community, especially for you newer members. This what y'all need to get down packed first. Because you got to know thyself first. Stop worrying about every damn thing. Get you down. Y'all got. I just went over this yesterday in the group. You've been spellbound all your life, right? Now you done woke up to the fact that you've been spellbound. You've been put under these different spells, and now y'all want to go off world and try to connect to something that you're not ready to connect. You got to connect to you first, right? This is why I'm gonna keep going over these things. The solar plexus. Somebody help me out. What deity represent the solar plexus? Let me get it from what deity for somebody in the tech space? I don't want to hear nobody guessing. I want to see who know. Who know? That's right. That's right. Sekhmet. Right on. Okay. Now the heart chakra, the axis of the body. Who knows that one? Het Hiru. Right on. Right on. That's my brother right there. Shamari Kai. Het Hiru. All right. What about the throat? Somebody tell them about the throat. Tahuti, that's right. It's Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day. Then we got the brow chakra. What's the brow? Let them know. That's right. All set. All set is in the brow. And I can feel y'all trying to give other members a chance to answer the question. But they're not studying this stuff. Y'all not studying it. Y'all like, man, I'm just going to wait for him to come back on again and see what. Stop doing that. Y'all, I can't stress it to you enough. Take advantage. Don't take it for granted. See, what's going on is too many of y'all listening to 9 or 10 different content creators. And by the time you spin the block and come back to me, you'd have forgot everything I done talked about. Because you're trying to take in too many different people. You can't learn that way. Shouts out to Haydrek Panema. Yeah, he said he knew here. Yeah, I'm sure you are, loved one. I wasn't even talking to you, but still the same. You know, you can come on in. You need to join our community. It's on Google Chat. It does require for you to purchase an Orgonite device to join our community, right? So it can bring you into alignment. We'd love to have you in, beloved. You will be welcome. We got 3 years of information in our database. And I'll say it again. A lot of times it'd be overwhelming for some people. Stop thinking that y'all got to catch up and learn everything in 2 minutes. It ain't going to happen like that. It's not the Matrix. Oh, I'm going to plug in. Oh, I know Kung Fu. Stuff don't go like that, man. You got to decompress or decompose the spells that have been integrated into your system. That takes time. It ain't just going to happen overnight. Somebody tell me the crown. They probably already did. I'm getting a lot of likes here. Somebody tell me the crown. What's the crown? What's the deity for the crown? That's right, Haru, Haru. Okay. And then we got the ninth chakra, which is called the sky chakra. The sky. And who that represent? Let them know, y'all. So I need my tech community to show the people on TikTok what you guys been learning. Show them that you know this shit. Shouts out to Plant Base, Netja, Newt. That's right. So you got 9 chakra points for 9 ether being, 9 ether frequency. And when you're dealing with frequency, you got the root word of the word frequency is frequent, right? And the root word of the word frequent is free, unrestricted, right? No limitation, no bounds. So first you got to be free to do what you do frequent, and frequently will determine your frequency, because you're frequently at a frequent rate doing this under your own free will, right? Which is right there in the solar plexus. And what's the attribute of Sekhmet? What's the attribute of Sekhmet? This is Q&A with Dr. Ray. I need y'all to ask questions. Don't try to build with me one-on-one, brother. That's right, beloved. Power. Sekhmet represents power. You know how you turn the power on your television? You press power, right? And then you allow the television to channel into you. And then you turn up the volume so that you can hear the programming that's coming through the television, telling lies to your vision. It needs power to do that. So when you turn on your power, which is right there in your solar plexus, the solar plexus represents the soul, the sun inside of you that you are. You don't have a soul, you are soul, right? So it's going to take your free will, and what you do with that will frequently will determine your frequency, all right? And these 6 ether beings, albinos, want you on a 6 ether frequency. That's how you have somebody dark as Wesley Snipes with a big picture of a white Jesus in their home. And they'll seek salvation, right? And redemption from that being that don't even look like them, because they're operating on that frequency. Some of you get around some of these peak people will start cold, they call it code switching. Oh, yeah. You start talking like one of them. Right? You start talking like one of them. You code switching because you're not on your own frequency. You on a frequency. Says so in short, from morning to night, be aware of our energy. No, I didn't say that. I never said none of that, loved one. You need to ask the question. Ask the question. Y'all, I'm telling y'all. No. I didn't say nothing about none of that, loved one. You just assumed. So you still on a guessing frequency, right? That's what the 6 ether, they deal with belief. We don't deal with belief. We deal with knowing. And morning and night are actually an illusion. That's an illusion too. There is no morning and night. You just perceive that from your corporeal form, which is quite minuscule in the seismic scale of things, right? You need to be aware of your energy at all times, anytime, on world and off world. At no time should you not be aware of your energy. At no time should you not be aware of yourself. At no time. Let's get to the next one. Power, right? What is the element associated with power? What is the element associated with power? And segment. Let them know, tech community. I'm trying to see who been studying. Because I give you all a grid. I give you all a diagram where all of this stuff already on the diagram. You should know this, but don't nobody go over it. I know y'all ain't going over it. That's right, iron. Iron is in the blood. And it's in the hemoglobin. Right? Non-ether beings have a lot of hemoglobin in their body. They could cut themselves and the blood gonna clot up real fast because you got a lot of iron in there. The albino beings, and this for educational purposes only, TikTok. I'm only educating the people about the blood, are hemophiliacs. Right? They lack the blood. They don't gotta, they cut their wrists and that shit'll bleed forever. They always need these blood transfusions. They got the Red Cross. They out there always asking for blood. Right? They always asking for blood. Like, we need blood. Why you need so much blood? Because they're parasites. They need parasites in their body. That's why they favor the pig, which is a hybrid animal that's composed of 3 animals. And that first was introduced to you by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He said that the pig was made out of the rat, the cat, and the dog. It got the body of a dog. Right? It got the body of a dog, but it got the nimbleness of a cat. And it got the eyes like a rat. It even got the rat's tail. A pig only has one main vein and artery in his body. Meaning, if it got bit by a cobra, that blood would just run down his skin. You're not supposed to eat that, according to the scripture in Leviticus. But that's a whole nother story in itself. This is your 9 chakra system that you have over your body, starting in the feet. So I tell you guys to go put your feet in the grass. I say put your feet in the grass every day. This is going to connect your earth cord to the planet, and now the planet can see you and say, oh man, there go Rod Beat from Tennessee. Right? Because you got 44 different organs or 44 different parts on the bottom of your feet that represent an organ on your body. And that's the way that the planet sees you. Right? Y'all got that? Get a 9 in the comments if y'all took a screenshot of that, because I may erase it. And no, we're not going to erase it yet. Right? Now we're going to go through the crystals associated with each one of these chakras. Who could tell me the chakra that's in the feet? Which crystal is associated with the chakra in the feet, called the Earth Star or the Earth Core? Somebody put that in the comments section for them. That's right, obsidian. That's one of my day oneers right there. He's been around over 8 years now. TikTok ain't even been available to you guys 8 years, but that brother been with me about 8 years and then had an altar that long as well. That's just giving y'all a little sense of how long I've been doing this. Okay, give it to me. What's the root? Somebody tell them what the root is. The root chakra. What's the one for the root chakra? That's right, beloved. Red jasper. Red jasper. Red jasper helps you activate the root chakra. For the one being Taziana, you need to get you some red jasper. You need to go put your feet in the grass and reconnect to the earth. Right? Reconnect to the planet and put yourself on the frequency of the planet. If you do that frequently, right? If you frequently do that and you use your free will to do it, then you will be in tune with the earth, right? And it'll be easy to get that root chakra spinning in the right direction so that you can start dealing with your survival. You can start dealing with your shelter. You can start dealing with the food that you're consuming. You can start dealing with your finances in a more grounded, reasonable, rational way. That's all in the root chakra, right? Next, you have the sacral. Come on, Team Tech. Let's see. Let's let them know what crystal is associated with Anubu and the sacral area. If anybody that's not a part of the community, if you know the answer, you can put it in there too. Shamarionic, carnelian. That's right. And if y'all know the answer, just say it. All right. Number 4. That's dealing with the solar plexus. We back at Sekhmet again. All right. So how do I use the crystals? One at a time or all at once? Well, I use them all at once at all the time. I got chakra tech. I got a few pieces of a chest plates left where you can do that. Thank you, Keith. I seen that. Citrine. Remember what I told y'all about drinking your citrine water? I told y'all the earth is getting back on its axis. You starting to get more sunlight on the planet. For all you guys that was in the Lion Gate portal last year, remember I told you to drink that water. Make sure you put that citrine crystal in your glass of water, not a plastic cup, in a glass of water and drink it, right? Next, you have the heart plexus, Het Hiru. What is the crystal associated with Het Hiru in the heart chakra? That's right, malachite. Malachite. That deals with the heart. That's what Dr. Ray got on today. I got one of the beetle techs around my neck. Right? I love it. That's my birthstone. Okay, next you got the throat, and it is Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day, a Thursday, a Thor's Day. What crystal is associated with the throat chakra? That's right. That's right, Shamari. So y'all, shouts out to Samari. He been studying. Shouts out to Plant-Based Nedger. He's been studying. Shouts out to Keith. They've been studying. Shouts out to Rod 1212. Rod 1212 just got in the group. She ain't even been there 2 weeks and she picking up on this shit. You hear me? It's not difficult, but this is why I keep telling y'all. Start there. Start from where it's pinned at inside of the group. What I got pinned, start there. Then work your way down to the database. By the time you get to the database, because it's going to be overwhelming. We got 2023, 2024, 2025, and we halfway through 2026. It's going to be a lot of shit that we cover that we already done covered in that time. You're not going to get it all in one sitting, right? Just take your time and follow the sequential order that I put out there for you guys. And you will catch up. You already ahead of the curve, right? I teach on the curve, right? They're not telling you about the 9 chakras. They tell you you got 7 chakras because they wanted you to be disconnected from the earth and you be okay with it. And they wanted to disconnect you from the sky and you be okay with that too. They put rubber on the bottom of your feet so you could be disconnected from the frequency of the planet. They disconnect you from the chakra in the sky. And now you got people talking about we live in a bubble, we in a dome. That's how they could come to them conclusions, because those chakras are laying dormant. And they don't have the life force flowing through them. So they disconnected. They get around a brother like Dr. Ray and they be like, oh man, this nigga be too direct with me. He me hurting my feelings. Man, get the fuck out of here. We ain't got no time for no weaklings. I'm a spiritual warrior. You hear me? Next we got the brow chakra. What's the crystal associated with the brow chakra, loved one? An offset. What is the chakra associated with the brow chakra in offset? Let them know. That's right. Shamari on one, boy. Shamari showing y'all like, man, I've been studying this shit. He got that 13 key technology pyramid. That brother been on one. I see you, Shamari. Right? Next, you got the 8th chakra. That's dealing with the crown. We know the deity is Haru, but what is the crystal that's associated with Haru? That's right, y'all. three charms is a charm. Amethyst. Amethyst. 4 times. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And let me get that disclaimer. We're not kicking y'all out the room. I see it went from 91 people to 67. We're not booting y'all out the room. That's TikTok doing that to you. They don't want you to be in alignment with this information. Because you got some tentacles that's connected to you that's pulling you off of this shit. The 9th one, dealing with the sky chakra that's associated with the deity Nut, who is the deity of the sky, the cosmic mother and the cosmic womb. That's right, quartz. All right, here go a bonus question for you guys. Here go a bonus question. Whoever get this right, you get an OrgoniteTEK shungite piece. Whoever can answer this question will win a shungite OrgoniteTEK piece. Whoever can guess this correctly. And it's an association with the quartz. How many? It's a 2-part question. What is the vibrational pulse rate of a quartz? And listen, what axis is it vibrating on? What is the number of the vibrational pulse rate of the quartz? And also tell me what is it, what axis is it capable of vibrating at? Go ahead and get you one of these joints. It costs you nothing. Just answer the question. Let's tap that screen, you guys. No, you guessing, beloved. We don't deal with guessing. When you start guessing, you second guessing. You're third guessing. And then you fourth guessing. It take you away from your intuition. which is right there in the brow chakra, right? Can anybody answer that? What is the vibrational pulse rate of a quartz? Nope, that's wrong. It's a lot of guessing. That's pretty much for the tech group, for the people that I'm testing to see what y'all been paying attention to, right? I don't expect nobody on TikTok to get it, right? I know some of y'all going through that. What's the name now? Like, damn, let me look through here. I seen that too. No, y'all all guessing. Y'all all guessing. Y'all guessing. Let's continue to teach. Now they didn't disconnected you from the earth core. You think you only got 7 chakras. So you disconnected. Obsidian don't be working well with people. And this just based on my assessment. Now y'all still guessing. People are disconnected from these crystals. They're not picking up the full potential of the quartz, the amethyst. Oh, excuse me. They disconnected from the quartz and obsidian. That's the sky in the earth core. So when I be hitting y'all with the staff for the first time, those are the first areas that I'm going to, because I know that you're not, those chakras are going through a form of what's referred to as atrophy. This is why you got a lot of hurting in your feet. Your feet end up swelling up. You be seeing women with cankles and their legs get all swollen. It's because they haven't activated that chakra. They pour concrete on top of the grass. They pour asphalt on top of it. And they got these big ass thick soles. The soles keep getting thicker and thicker every year to disconnect you from Geb, the deity of your planet. They keep trying to undermine the position of the woman. Oh, the woman is the planet. No, she ain't. The female represents the sky. She's the womb. She she is the bosom of everything, not just some little lowly ass rock. You hear me? But somebody got to tell you. I'm telling you, I be sitting back. I be on the other side of the wall, like a lot of y'all on the other side of the wall now. And I be watching y'all live. I like, hey, this motherfucker don't even know what he's talking about. You basically going on a 6 ether frequency, right? You got the 6 ether albino. Uh-oh, spelled that wrong. Albino being, right? They on a 6 ether frequency. We don't be on that frequency, man. But a lot of y'all on that frequency. You go along to get along. You can't wait to be accepted by them. You can't wait. And I don't have nothing against them. I'm just saying that you shouldn't want to be somebody else other than what you can readily identify with. Get on your own frequency. Stop calling on they shit. Stop wanting to be aligned with they shit and want to be aligned with you. That's where your power at. You start calling on the names that reflects you. You hear me? So I'm going to call on my mama, Ashe, Mama Floyd, Ashe, Papa Jesse, Ashe, Granddaddy RZ, Ashe, Grandma Juanita, Ashe, Papa Quilliam, Ashe, Papa Mama Daisy, Papa Walter, Mama Dora, Ashe, Papa Billy, Ashe, Mama Melissa, Ashe, right? Ma Vera, Ashe, John Wilkes, Papa John, Ashe, not the pizza place. Mama Samantha and Papa Charles. You hear me? Those are the ones that's coursing through my veins. That's why I be so animated. Y'all think I'm talking too loud? I can't help it. Because my dearly departed are alive in my blood. because I'm calling out their names every day. I tell them something I need, that shit pop right up. You hear me? Every day. No, that's wrong, Rob B. You don't be coming into the community room, Rob B. It's a lot you missing, man. Man, you done missed a lot, bro. You done missed a lot of dynamic classes. And when you do decide to come on in, it'll be overwhelming. Like, shit, I can't. Man. That's the first thing people say. Like, damn, that's a lot of information. But the sooner the better, right? But I call on those that's known. And what they do is they connect those in our bloodline that I don't know to me. You hear me? And then they open up the channels that open up the corridors to the ancestors, so that my libations, my offerings could reach them also. Because at some point, all of those beings' accounts get cleared up, and what they need, the reprieve that they that they seek to receive, it gets fulfilled. And then they just pass it on down to those before them. All the way back to the Netaru. You follow? And the Netaru don't need our offerings. They don't need our libations. Right? They don't need that. But they see that you acknowledging them, and now they gonna hit everybody in your bloodline with that hikau. You know where it branch off at? And don't hit those people with that hikau. Listen. When they say, oh shit, fuck your daddy. Your daddy wasn't shit. He didn't do nothing for you. That nigga birthed your ass. You gotta at least give him that ashe. Because your soul needed that experience. Your soul needed that situation or that circumstances in order for it to evolve and grow beyond this dimension. Some of y'all didn't have to have your daddy. He would have fucked your shit up if he was there. Some of y'all say, oh, my mama was a bad mama. If your mama was a good mama, you wouldn't even gotten in alignment with me. For those that needed that. You needed everything that happened to you in order to bring you right here, right now, to be hearing what I'm telling you right now. You needed that, or you wouldn't even be here. You can't play the video game on easy and expect divinity, and expect enlightenment, and expect divine intellect to beseech you. It ain't gonna happen like that. You're not worthy. You got to go through a test so that you can have a testimony. And the testimony is the test of many. And if you're not willing to go through the test of nothing, you can't have shit. You'll be on that NPC ass frequency that you already been on already. That the six ether albino beings already picked out for you, right? Spend 12 years of your life in school or hell. 12 years in hell. We're going to just say school. 15 years working. 15 years being entertained. Right? That's 42 years. You spend 24 years in the bathroom. That's 66 years of your life. That's what the six ether being got figured out for you. 66 years, 6 months, 6 days, 6 hours. 666 scores of 66. That's the mark of the beast, which is the six ether albino. Not the six ether Asiatic black man, which is the Indian or the Hindu, but the albino that came out of that. Then you got a 9 ether albino being as well. Those two beings got together and created the Caucasian race. I'm putting this in context for you. Because I was groomed to teach you this shit. I need to erase the board. Y'all go ahead, put a 9 in the comment section if you took a screenshot. I'll go ahead and take a screenshot too. I'm going to put it right in the community. But for my people in the 1089 tech space, y'all need to have this, man. This is what y'all need to know. This is where y'all need to start at. I told y'all that. Get it down pack first. Just get this shit down. Stop trying to quantum leap past what you haven't covered yet. Just do this and everything will come to you. Trust me, man. Trust me. You gonna get it, man. Oh man, it didn't take the picture. Bam. All right, so everybody got their picture. I could take this down, and I know y'all still can't answer that question, but I'll answer it for you in a second. I've seen enough 9s in there, so I'm taking it down. You know, I'm gonna erase the board at least 4 or 5 times during the live. Y'all getting a full seminar every time I come on here. So imagine what it's like in person. All right? Imagine. Shouts out to Ricky. He said forward, backwards, up and down, and diagonal. He said, what's my first steps then? The first steps you need to do is purchase an Orgonite device, beloved. Go to my website, 1089techvision.com, and you need to purchase an Orgon. Every time somebody purchases something from my website, I'm going to call you. You got to purchase the Orgon, though. It got to be the Orgon, because that's what's going to help bring you into symmetrical alignment with everybody in the community. That's what's putting y'all in alignment. It's the Orgon, because I put certain hickers inside this Orgon, and it aligns every electron in every cell of your body. And that's the first thing people start experiencing at an accelerated rate. They be like, man, I keep seeing 12-12. I keep seeing 11-11 everywhere. I'll be seeing it everywhere. Like at first you be seeing it, but now you really start seeing it. And it's letting you know that like, yeah, now you on that frequency. Said you bought the pyramid from me. Again, let me say this. You don't want to start with the pyramid. You want to start with a medallion first, because I didn't even go over this. But a lot of y'all already got holes in your aura. And when you start off with a pyramid, it's going to magnify, because a pyramid is a magnifier and an amplifier. And it will amplify your auric field. And if your auric field got a lot of holes in it, then that's almost like an invitation to disembodied spirits to come into your auric field, right? So you want to start with a medallion first, so that it can restore and repair the damage that has been done to your aura. It can repair and restore the damage that's been done from the microwave damage from putting a cell phone on your ear, especially if you're from Generation X. I know you that had a cell phone on your ear, right? And they be cooking the neurons in our brain, and people be thrown off. He said the awakened axis, right? But I'll be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you that, right? I'm not just here to profit on y'all. I really want y'all to get this. Or I'd have been sold 10,000 pyramids. But I want people to get that medallion first, so that we can eradicate the damage that has been done and clear up those holes. You got a bunch of perforated holes in your aura. Like it's a bunch of perforated holes in a strainer. That's how many holes people got in their aura. And the archons can feed on your energy a lot easier if you got energetic leaks in your body. They be feeding on the leaks. That's why them forces don't like me on here talking this shit. Leave a 9 in the comment section if you're ready for the answer to the Paruti riddle concerning the courts and the vibrational pulse rate of a quartz. y'all like, fuck it. Just give us the answer, Doc. 765,000 pulses per second. That's the vibrational rate of the axis of the universe. That's the quartz, which is associated with the 14th Neteru, who is Newt, right? $765,000 pulses per second. That's how fast the quartz vibrates. And that's the vibrational rate of the axis of the universe. A quartz is not a liquid, nor is it a solid, right? And that's an association with the 14th Neteru, Newt, who represents the sky, right? Here goes some more wisdom for you guys. How many pieces was Osaru chopped up in when he got into the sarcophagus? Somebody put it in the comment section. How many pieces was Osaru chopped up in? That's right, 14. See the association with the sky? 14 equals sky equal Orion, right? And they said after he got chopped off in 14 pieces, he went up in the sky, but he went to Orion. He went to a particular location in the sky. So they say, our Father who art in heaven, Osaru be thy name. May thy will be done on earth as it is in Orion. He said, how can you help me make my order? You had to leave a name. Just send me your number, or just go to the website, beloved. Either or. If you're prepared to order, I will call you. I don't know why people be so. I don't know why people be so shocked when I call them. Like, oh shit, you called me. Like, hey, I said I was gonna call you. I'm not a liar. All right? I don't want you to believe. I want you to know. But I tell you I'm gonna call your ass, I'm gonna call you. Okay, there you go, Joja. Jakim, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm not gonna call you right this second, but when I come off of here, I will give you a call. Says Sirius A, B, and C constellation, Canis Major and Canis Minor. Yes, I'm aware of that. The main star, the alpha star of the Sirius constellation is C. C is the largest star, right? What's your question about that? He said they used to make watches with quartz. Yeah, they still do. And every cell phone has a piece of quartz at the core of its processor. Are you asking a question about it? That's kind of vague, Rob. I don't know what you're saying. But that's the answer to the Paruti riddle, right? It's the quartz that's in the sky, that's over the head, right? That's over the head. Now, Sirius, let me show you guys. Let me pull out this map so I can show it to you. This is Sirius C. This is Sirius C. When you're looking at this, they call this, that's the Greek word. That's the Greek word Orion, right? That's not the word that we use. That's what the Greeks use. They're not going to tell you what the people of the land of Amun Ra called that. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you what they call it. You said what crystal is associated with the Baruti? Labradorite? It's an association with it. Labradorite covers all the chakras, right? It covers up to 33 chakras. And Sirius B is a part, or Sirius A, B, and C is a part of the Milky Way, right? The Milky Way is the 18th galaxy, right? The exit point of the 18th galaxy is Sirius, right? Which we called that SIP2. On the other end, SIP2 is where they get the word SIP2, SEP2, 7, and on Earth you say September. See that? September is associated with Virgo, the Virgin, right? They associate that with Mary, the Virgin. You follow? Before Mary, or before Virgo, is Leo. In the solar biology chart, we say Haru. In English, you say Jesus. See that? They're reading star maps. That's in the sky chakra, which a lot of you guys don't know about. I know it's people on here that say, yeah, you only got 7 chakras. They're limited. And they're not going to tell you that you got 9 chakras because they've been telling you got 7 chakras all this time. And they like, God damn, I was wrong. I don't want nobody to think I ain't know what I was talking about. That's ego, right? Said, is Mercury in retrograde? That's an excellent question. Let me tell you something about retrograde. We talked about this before. You be missing a lot of the classes, Rob B. We already went over all of this at least 3 times, but we're going to go over it again, right? If y'all are part of the tech community, y'all got to start coming to the Google chat class. Don't be waiting for me to come on TikTok because they suspend my lives. I'll be going too deep on TikTok. So they suspend the live, not because they want me to stop teaching. It's because they don't want me to re-upload the information that I done dropped. But you got 5 planets, right? 5 associated with the pentagram. That's why I tell y'all, I don't mess with pentagrams or pentagons, right? The pentagon, which is in the center, right? That's a pentagon right here, right? You got 5 planets that orbit. They say retrograde, but it goes counterclockwise. Orbit of the sun. Anybody know those 5 planets? Let me see who's been paying attention so we can answer Rob B. Shouts out to Rob B from Tennessee. We want to answer this question. I want to see who in the tech space and from TikTok, because I put this on TikTok a few times. Who been paying attention? Tell me the 5 planets that move counterclockwise orbit of the sun. Anybody know? Put it in the comments section. I don't want to see no guessing. If you don't know, it's okay. All right. The first one is Mercury, closest planet to the sun. Next, we have Jupiter. Excuse me. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus. All of them move in the opposite direction of your Earth. And they only got you paying attention to Mercury. They say, oh, Mercury is in retrograde. It's not that it's in retrograde. It just that it orbits around the sun so slow that the Earth is catching up to its orbital field. It's catching up to it. And you feeling the resistance because it's repelling. You follow? That's what that's talking about. But these 5 planets right here are going counterclockwise to the sun. The Earth and the moon, because the moon is a part of the Earth. That's where it came from. That's why it's stuck in our gravitational field. It's going clockwise. These 5 planets are going counterclockwise at all times. And they use that energy and place you in a pentagram with that energy using Saturn, right? Which is the 6th planet. That's why they operate on the 6th. And that gives you a hexagram, right? And it's interlocking. These things is interlocking. Interlocking means to bind. It's binding. It's interlocking. It's binding. And they take the pentagram and turn it upside down, right? Let me see if I could. Can I do that? Let's see. I'm going to try, y'all. I'm not Picasso in this mug. I think it's like that. Something like that. Right? That's the pentagram. And you can see the goat face in that. Right? That's the goat of Mendez, also called Baphomet, which is associated with Saturn and also associated with Capricorn in the winter solstice. You follow? Which represents death. Right? That's right, Rob. Teach Muhammad. Right? That's correct. So you using pentagrams and you connecting to this goat energy, right? And they tried to turn Mars. You can see the word Mars. Look at the grimoire in that. Mars. That's nothing but Ram. Oh, you could say Raw, Ram, and War. Right? And that's dealing with fire. You see that? That's right. Thank you, Rob. You can add that on there too. Aries, the god of war. They put that shit in the pentagram. And in the center of the pentagram is a pentagon. And the name of the military branch of your government, its headquarters is called the Pentagon. You think that's a coincidence? You got 50 stars. Think that's a coincidence? 5-pointed pentagrams. They say it represents the 50. No, that shit. They playing with y'all, man. This is alchemy being done against you. And like I told you before, when you go to school, which is shu in Hebrew, which means hell, right? And some of you go to grimoire, you call it grammar school, but it's called grimoire, which means dark evil spell. Listen, you send your children to preschool, so they getting ready to go into hell. And now it's no longer your child. They turn your child into a kid, which is a baby goat. You see that? Turn your child into a kid, which is a baby goat. You see that? That baby goat, Baphomet, the goat of Mendes, Capricorn, the winter solstice, during death, they start school after, listen, after we come out of the summer solstice, then they start school during fall, right? September 7. You hear that? The virgin. You said then they kidnap. Yeah, there you go. Way to expound on that. You're napping. They make you take a nap when you're in the kindergarten, the kid in the garden, right? This is all alchemy. And when you do a good job, what they do? They put a star right here. Like, that's a good job. Put a star right there, the mark of the beast, right on your head. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. They put that shit right on your head. That was a good job, Joseph. You get a star today. I'm sorry, Malik. We're not going to give you a star because you've been acting rebellious. Right? Then when you start to when you get indoctrinated, they put this star on your paper and then put 100. And then they'll tell you, good job. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, you guys. See, they don't want you to know this. Because once you deprogram, and see, this is continuation from what we talked in our private community yesterday. So you got to deprogram from this shit first. You can't just leave it there and say, oh shit, I'm about to tap into the Netraru. Let me get in tune with all this. Let me start doing it. Deprogram first. So that your consciousness is not operating on their operating system. You got to uninstall that shit from your consciousness first. You got to uninstall the software, put it into the little trash can, press X, and it's going to say, do you want to delete this permanently? And you, yes or no. You got to press delete permanently. Then you have to, once you done did that, now you can install a new program. No, not override the program. You got to uninstall that shit. So you don't have to override it. You just uninstall it, put it in the trash, delete it, and install a new program. Now, when you install that new program, your computer is going to shut down. It's going to need to reboot several times before it can recalibrate itself to the circuitry of the new software that you just uploaded. You follow? That has to be done first. And people be skipping these steps and say, oh man, I could just get on your page. No, you can't, nigga. You are not ready to do what I do. If you under the age of 30 years old, I've been doing this for 30 years. Right? I've been doing it longer than most of y'all have been, anybody from generation whatever, Z, Alpha, whatever. I know what I'm talking about. That's why they don't like for us to have elders. Because they can see the lies and be like, oh, no, man, I remember when that happened. That ain't what happened. No, I can't let that go. I'm going to have to bring that shit to y'all attention. But it'd be enough people to be there. Y'all not careful enough. Because see, a lot of you niggas, like I said, y'all want to be pink men, right? Y'all love, oh, it's Christmas. You put the little Saturn nail on your head, right? Yeah, some of the elder, see the ones that's trapped in the spell, they allowed it, but see, they not trying to tell nobody nothing either, those elders. They ain't trying to tell nobody shit. They got that Saturnalia hat on their head. Merry Christmas. Big ass onesie, looking like a goddamn fool. Right? Y'all got that? I'm gonna erase the board. Leave a 9 in the comment section if y'all got that. They don't tell you about the spell of Kingu, which is an association with the moon. The moon is associated with Kingu. Kingu is a spell. He the one that wrote this spell or the program. They show you that in Doctor Strange with the ancient one. She said a spell is a program, right? That's the Kingu. The spell of Kingu. The spell of Kingu, which is the spell of sleep. Right? Being in there, somebody put in there kidnap, right? The baby goat has went to sleep so it can accept the programming. And then once they know the program is in it, because you will defend it with your life. Motherfucker be black as Mahershala Ali and be defending white Jesus. Be defending that shit. Defending Christianity. Defending Christmas. And then get mad when they smack you upside the head and call you a darkie. You get mad when you send your child out on a vacation with theirs and your child don't come back and you get mad about it. You get mad when you try to integrate your child into their school system and be around a whole bunch of pink kids and now you mad. You hear me? Your son end up unaliving somebody and the judge is showing favor because he had barbecues with the person's parents who you killed. You don't got no network. You don't got no connection. You don't belong to their higher society. You hear me? But y'all just so damn, y'all want to be down with them so fucking bad. I just don't get it. And ain't nothing wrong with them, but want to be doing your own thing. Stop wanting to do they shit. Put yourself on the same level as them because it's above them when you start talking about who you are spiritually. Because see, the spirit ain't got nothing to do with your fucking pigmentation. That's a whole nother level, a whole nother science that they were not given the access to. You better wake up, right? You better wake up. We're going to continue on with this because I done went over this before. I hope that answers your question, Rob B, as far as the Mercury retrograde. Mercury is always in retrograde. It's always going in a polar opposite direction orbitally than the planet. It's always doing it, and it's not alone. It's them 5 planets, right? It's them 5 planets right there. Now, they always telling you about Kingu, which they don't never mention them. Kingu and Tiamat. These are Sumerian deities, right? These are Sumerian deities that they came up with. And they said that Kingu had sex with Tiamat, who was his mother. And they birthed a child. Kingu and Tiamat had a child. And the child was born a stillbirth, right? The child was a stillbirth. So they took the child. Listen, it was born on December the 25th. Y'all know they go Capricorn again. Capricorn, Saturn. All right? Capricorn, Saturn, December 25th, winter solstice. Right? They took the baby that they had and buried the baby under an evergreen tree. Meaning an evergreen tree never loses its leaves. Right? The evergreen. You call that a Christmas tree today, but that came from Kingu and Tiamat and they unborn incest-filled child that didn't live on December the 25th. So they buried it under an evergreen tree so that it live forever. And every year they would visit that evergreen tree and leave presents at the tree for their child, their unborn child. Anybody know the name of that child? Right? The name of that child turned into Baal. Yes, excellent question, Rob. That's exactly what's going on. And that's why they sacrificed the baby to Molech. Which is another, people use the word pagan and don't mean it. Pagan just mean that you a farmer, you simple-minded, you a commoner, you a layman. Said we would plant that tree in graves today. But this is where Christmas came from. People don't, you can show that shit to somebody and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm about to put my stocking up over my what's the name. I've been doing this all. I'm not about to stop doing this now because you just showed me this. You under a spell, right? That's the spell of ignorance. The spell of ignorance. That's Amma. The spell of spiritual ignorance. Right? The spell of spiritual ignorance. I go before a pink person and be like, because I'm white. I said, no, you're not white. This board is white. No, I'm a white person. No, you're pink. You follow? You're a pink person. You're not white. I'll come across a brother or a sister. Hey, you're not black. I am black. No, you're not black, beloved. This pendant is black. See that? That's black. You are not that color. But you keep confessing that you are, and I could look with my two peripheral and see that you're not. That's a spell. I'm sitting up here telling you're not that. And you're still. Even if you mix with what? Black and white. No, you're not. Black and white is gray. When you mix black and white together, you become gray. You're not gray. You're not a gray person. But this is what the spell of ignorance does to people. This is what the spell of ignorance does. And we got to address it. We can't. Then that's another thing that the spell does. It just stops you from addressing shit. You don't even want to address nothing. Like, I don't want to address that. I'm going to still hang up my stocking anyway, which that's for Krampus. You know what I'm saying? That's Krampus. Krampus was a goat. Look at all the goats they got. Let's just deal with the goats. We got Baal and Molech. Molech requires a child. Ishtar, they require the sacrifice of a child, right? See, Yeah, we done dealt with Jesus, but we'll go back over it. All y'all got to do is ask the question. Any questions, leave them in the comments section, and I'll give you clarity. See, you want to hold on to that spell of ignorance, some of you. Like, oh, shit. No, don't hold on to it. Ask your questions so we could debunk that shit and give you some clarity, right? But these the goats. They got Capricorn, Baphomet, Mendez, Pan, Krampus, right? Them the goats. And what you see the people walking around today saying, oh, he the goat. He the goat. She the goat. Right? You the goat of what? Why do you want to be a goat? If you shave all the hair off a goat with a number one without no guard on it. Say, why do we exist? You exist because your mother and father exist. And their mothers and fathers exist. And their mothers and fathers exist. In order to partake in creation. That's why. Say, where do we come from? But what you can understand, you came out your mother and father. But we can go deeper than that. I don't know where you at with it. Say, is that what the presidents do? Sacrifice the child? Yeah, but I can't really. I don't want to go too deep on that question because they might get rid of my live, right? I don't want to go too deep on that. But ask me that question in the tech community, and I'll go over it. And it's okay. You didn't know. Said, do we come from the water? Said, mankind. Too many questions at once. Let the moderator pick one of y'all questions at a time and put it up there, right? Because see, you got these goats. Then you got the ram, which represent Amun Ra. You see that? And the goat mates with the lamb. It don't mix with the goat. The goat is the perverted version of the ram. And rams and lambs got woolly hair. The goat got flanky hair. It got fur. You hear me? So you got 9 ether animals. Have you ever seen a lamb? What color is a lamb's skin? It's black. Is it not? It's dark skin. Yeah, we went over that already, Prince Hitton. We covered that. Said nothing you teaching is going to give us eternal life. How do you know that? You don't even know what I'm teaching. Do you got a question? Because ain't nobody asked you to come in here. This Q&A with Dr. Ray, Kuba, the witness. Do you got a question? To see your grandmama brought you in here. Because she already in the afterlife. In limbo. Getting assistance. And whether you like it or not, you're going to be heading over there too. And you're going to need somebody to pour a libation for your ass as well. But you ain't poured one for her. You're not calling her name out every day. You're not telling your children about her sacrifices, about her story, about how she lived and what she did. So what you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about and it ain't going to help. You don't know that, nigga. This your first time even seeing me. And the only reason you here because they brought your black ass in here. They grabbed you by the back of your neck and made you come in here. No, you need to ask the question, beloved. Because you speculating. I could tell by that goofy ass avatar you got on your picture that you don't know what you not in the line. You might be one of them boule niggas. You might be a boule, right? The Titus. Titus was one of the damn disciples of Paul, the self-appointed apostle that never met Christ, according to your book. He was a liar. He even confessed that he was a liar. You coming from a Greek perspective. You hear me? We don't deal in the Greek. We taught the Greeks. So you're going to have to come better than that, loved one. You ask the question like everybody else. Ask the question. You got a question, ask the question so I can answer it. Don't assume that you know where the hell I'm coming from, because you don't. I've been doing this about 30 years, and I done covered all the damn religions. But show some respect, have some couth, and ask your question, because you don't even know who you are, my nigga. Any more questions? I believe said they are using energy agent weapons on me. They trying to unalive me. I live in Baton Rouge. What's the Kung principle? I don't know you said the Kingu. Yeah, you must have came in here late, Creep. Y'all don't be in alignment. You came in but I'll go back over that in a second. For the being that one question at a time. For the being that was saying that they in Baton Rouge and let me tell y'all something. Stop staying in your damn city where you was brought up, where you went to school. You gotta fucking move. Y'all gotta stop staying in what's comfortable. Comfort is a threat to achievement. You see all the devilishment going on around you. You see the shit that ain't right. Man, you better get the fuck out of there. What you waiting for? You waiting to go to jail or go be put in the grave? Get the hell out of there. Shouts out to Hidden Sun. She know what I'm talking about. Said Dr. York put them under the spell of Kingu. I see what's going on with you. He said Dr. York put them under the spell. You a hater ass nigga. Let's just do this with you. See, you coming in here to try to create dissension. You ain't even got enough followers to be saying all of that, to disrespect the master teacher, especially disrespecting my platform. You just get your ass up out of here, right? He said, I've been trying to move from St. Louis for years. It's cursed. Yeah, you just got to pack up and count your losses and get the fuck on. When I left where I'm from, Detroit, Michigan, I didn't give a fuck. I left money in the street and everything. Niggas like, yo, I owe you money. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Keep that shit. I'm out of here. I ain't even tell nobody I was leaving. I just got up and left. Got on the fucking bus and got the fuck on. You got to do that, man. And start over. And watch all that shit alleviate you. People are afraid of change. Comfort is a threat to your achievement. So why are we so much more evolved from animals on Earth? You don't know that. You're not more evolved. Hell, the ants work together. The ants can't survive in the cold, but they thrive longer than you. Sea turtles live to be 225 years. Trees could live thousands of years. You get 100 years if you lucky. You hear me? And it's not that you're evolved. It's the spirit that you are that's evolved. You're just the volume that's occupying the container of the body. You don't even belong to this dimension. You predate the physical universe. That's right, Seven. The trees communicate across the world. Humans are not as evolved as they think they are. You got niggas shooting each other because this person from this neighborhood and that person from that neighborhood. This person got on that color and this person got on that color and they killing each other. That's not evolved. You got so-called black people listening to white people about who their God is and how to get salvation, and that shit don't look nothing like them. Right? So we not that evolved. Exactly like the caveman. We done brought ourselves down to the 6 ether albino frequency. So we, you know, and I'm just responding to your question. We not that evolved, loved one. We don't work together. We're not in harmony with each other. Tell them, Judy Creation. That's exactly what the spell did. It took us out of harmony with nature. And like I showed you guys earlier with the picture and the chakra in your feet and the chakra in the sky, we've been disconnected from them 2 chakras. So we're not even connected to the planet. We think that we're not an animal. Your whole body is comprised of over 64 different animals. Those are your ancient ancestors, right? We went over that before. This might be your first time. This is how you spell the word Ankh, right? You got Atum and Amun. You got Nun, Kek, and He. Nun represents the water and the fish. Amun represents the atom, fish, the snake, and the frog. That's the Ankh. This is where you got he said, why not be 10 or 11 ether? Why only 9 ether? That's an excellent question, or 324. You tell me a number that's greater than 9. Tell me the highest number you could think of is 9. You can't think of a number past 9. 10 is 1 and 0. Ten is complete. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to go into the laws of reflection. And when you put the 0 and the 1 together, you see a 9. And when you put 9 times any number, let's just say 27. 9 times 27, 18 plus 6 is 24. 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 3 equal 9. You could do that with any number times 9. It's going and you could deduce it back to 9. Right? No, you might be limited in your understanding. Now, you want to deal with that? We could go there. I'm not. I'm beyond being challenged. But let me go ahead and break it down to you, so I could show you what that really means. Let me make it make sense for you without giving you the spell, right? Because if you're gonna use you're gonna use the number 0 as a placeholder, then you're gonna have to count it as a number. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you're gonna use the number 0, if you're gonna use 10 as a number, then you're gonna have to count 0 as a number. You follow? So let's count the 10, but you gotta use 0. Yeah, but the Hebrews ain't that old. Hebrew ain't old. All that shit came after the 16th century. Right? And Hebrew ain't a language either. That just means that's a word. That's not a people. Let's start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see that? Where is 10? No, you missed it. What it do, Isu? You missed it. You came in after the fact. He said 0 isn't a real number, so why you count 0? How you gonna make it 10? How can you have 10 without 0 and not give it a place value? How is 10 going to get a place value? If you're going to do that, you got to count 0 as a number. Is this not going over your head? This is why I tell y'all to ask questions. How are you going to use 0 as a part of 10, right? But then don't count it as a number? See, he ain't ready for that. So if you want to use 10, you want to say that it's a number greater than 9, I just proved to you that there's not. Even though you said that 10 is more complete. And I'll give you that. But if you're going to say that 10 is more complete than 9, you still got to say that 9 is the highest number. Right? You still got to say that 9 is the highest number. When you get to what you're referring to as 10, now you're going into the laws of reflection. This is stuff that I teach offline in our community for the free ski. All you got to do is purchase, said 400. Well, then there it goes again. If you're going to put the 0, listen, you giving 0 value. If you're going to give 0 value, you're going to have to count it as a number. I'm going to say that one more time. So maybe you needed to get through your head a little bit clearer. If you're going to use 0 in the value system of numbers, you're going to have to include it as a number. Yeah, he going through cognitive dissonance right now. Right? Again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is 10? You tell me where 10 is, or 3, 2, 4. I'm not. You're not ready for this, man. A lot of people get triggered when they come across Dr. Ray. Is 0 a reflection of the void? Yes. Yes, it is. It represents no, right? Which is also number, also representing nothing. You got to have nothing in order to add some. In order to have some, it needs a canvas in order to function on. So you got to have nothing in order to have something. Just like you got to have the dark in order to have light. You're going to have silence in order to have sound. Do you follow what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Or 3, 2, 4. You see, you got to a certain station and then you hit your head on the ceiling. Now, if you want me to walk you through the laws of reflection, I can. You said there's always a container. Yeah, you're what you're doing right now is you're trying to express your ideology. No, it's okay. Anybody else? Anybody else got any questions? I think I seen some other questions. I couldn't catch them all. Say, who invented these numbers? These numbers are pretty much angles. They're linear lines and curvatures. They're linear lines and curvatures. Yeah, he might be a juice bot. He might be a juice box. He probably might be Ashkenazi or one of them Khazars and stuff like that. I mean, that's all that is. They deal with them interlocking hexagrams. He ain't ready for this. Said we refer to the pharaoh as an alligator. Pharaoh is a Hyksos word, right? Pharaoh, which they said that means lighthouse, right? Pharaoh is Greek. We don't use Greek. We say Afirti, right? They couldn't say Afirti. That's why they used the word pharaoh. That's a Greek word. See, a lot of y'all got Greek terms. Like when you say Egypt, that's Greek. When you say pyramid, that's Greek. I got to use these terminologies to compensate for your limited understanding. When you use the word Isis, that's Greek. When you use the word Osiris, that's Greek too. When you use the word Horus, that's Greek. The Greek freaks, they like little boys. They like to row the man. They call it romance. They even established their own land called Romania. Right? And they ended up becoming Roman. Tell me I'm lying. Don't believe me, look it up. Don't believe me, look this shit up. They stole everything from us. They had to steal it because they was too dumb to learn it. I'm going to say it one more time. They had to steal it because they was too dumb to learn it. And after they stole it from us, they still didn't understand it. With they whole ass. Right? Don't believe me. Look it up. 1750. I'm writing about this in my book. Somebody asked me, hey man, when you gonna be done with that book, Negativity? No, I gotta take my time with that shit, my nigga. Because when I'm done with negativity, you gonna stop calling yourself a nigga. You gonna start checking people when they call you a nigga. You gonna start checking people that use the word nigga. And you gonna start walking with your back upright again. And you're going to start aligning with the natural from which you are descended of, as you should. So I'm going to take the time. And I know the being that asked me that, you ain't even read the Paruti Paradigm, my nigga. That's that nigga shit. 17 BCE. That's when they was... That's when they learned about rulership in Akkad. They was given Akkad. They was given that land. Right? To rule. And within 100 years, which is 1650 BCE, they was in Egypt. Egypt means burnt, faced it, gypsies. Egypt means the land of Amen-Ra. That started from the tip of the shores of the Mediterranean against the libraries of Alexandria, all the way down into Mozambique in South Africa. All of that was the land of Amen-Ra. That goes for what they're referring to as Egypt, Somali, Sudan, Abyssinia, which they end up calling, which was really called Kush. They started calling it Ethiopia, Nubia, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. You follow? Mozambique. All of that was the land of Amen-Ra. And everybody that stayed west of that they didn't have no fucking knowledge. They didn't have no fucking knowledge. Those were the Anu people. They called them the Anu people. They even had a temple in what you call Cairo called the Temple of Anu. Don't believe me? Google that shit. The Temple of Anu. And in the Temple of Anu, it had 3 chief deities. Who you call Isis, her name was Osset. Who you call Asaru, his name was Usir. What you call Horus, his name was Haru. Those were the 3 chief deities of that temple. And these burnt-faced gypsies that lost their rulership in a cat because they didn't know how to run a damn country, and they still don't know how to do that today. They still don't know how to do it. Every 100 years they go into dissension. They don't know what the hell they doing. Why you think they put all these niggas in the office and stuff like that? They gotta bring us in there to clean up their mess. He said when you Google it, it adds spiritual benefits to the word. Right on, Judy. The Temple of Anu. So they learned about the chief deities of that temple. They were scared to go past Cairo. If they went into fucking into Abyssinia, Ethiopia, the Ethiopians would have whooped their ass. If they would have went into Sudan, the Sudanese would have whooped their ass. They know that. Gypsies stay by the water. All my people from across the pond, they know about the gypsies. And if you got any gypsies in the room, you can put a 9 in the comment section and let them know. Gypsies stay by the water. They don't have an actual land. Why you think the pale man to keep invading everybody's land? You don't see the Chinaman going to everybody's country trying to take it over. You don't see the Arab going to everybody's country trying to take it over. You don't see the so-called Africans from the 54 different tribes and nations within Ganawa, which is the original name. You don't see them coming to other people's lands trying to take it over. Yeah, we just need to mute you, or you didn't had enough. We didn't let you talk more than enough. You don't know what you're talking about. No, I ain't gonna even block you. I'm gonna mute you for the entire lie. You just be muted. You said enough. We done heard what you had to say, right? You ain't even trying to ask no damn questions. You need to be asking more questions than you doing talking. Because you got a limited understanding. The only people do that is the pink people. The hell they doing in Australia? And now they walking around with their chests out. I'm Australian. Just like they was walking around and the only reason they was able to come in 1650 BCE, which means before the Christian era, right, is because of Khufu. Khufu is the pharaoh or the Afirti that's on the crescent, right? They got like a little man face. I know it kind of look kind of on the Shriners. You see the Shriners? Masons don't have that on their. It's supposed to be called a tarbouche, but they haven't been educated correctly on their fez. The Khufu, the reason why they put Khufu on there is because he lifted the immigration law, which had been in place for over 10,000 years, not to let these pink pale lepers into Egypt, and he let them in. They gave up their sovereignty in Akkad and came into Egypt and didn't know what to fucking do. The only reason Khufu allowed that is because he wanted the whole world to worship him. He started to deface the monoliths, the statues, the different deities, the different pharaohs that ruled over the land. And he wanted he commissioned for all of the faces to be turned into his. And that's why you see the pink man destroying the faces. He was just following orders. And he said, yeah, y'all can stay right there. But we use a derogatory term to them, and we called them Egyptos, which means burnt-faced gypsies. And because they was allowed access to stay in that one little area, they started walking with their chests out and saying, I'm Egyptian. We Egyptians, we run Egypt. And the word got down to Ahmose the First at the Khufu's death, who ended up becoming the next Safirti. Ahmose stayed in a place called Nubia, where they got more pyramids in Nubia and Sudan than you got anywhere in the world. Right? Kemet is a Masonic word. Kemet is a Masonic word. They started calling that once Khufu raised the immigration laws and allowing these burnt-faced gypsies to live on the land. And they walking around saying that they Egyptian and they from Egypt and they the rulers of Egypt. Man, that word got down to Ahmose the First. He came up there and kicked those, he kicked them cave dwellers up out of there so fast. Kicked them out. Kicked them out. They didn't return for another 1,225 years when they came in 325 AD. Or excuse me, BCE, with the Mesopotamian army, which was led by a being by the name of Alexander the Fake. Y'all call him Alexander the Great. Wasn't nothing great about that being it like the road of man. Right? He was a romantic at heart. Right? Took them 1,225 years to spin the block and get some revenge. They were scared of you. Still is to this day. And then they come over here to Algonquia, which transliterates into English as the land of the frogs. We didn't call this place. Thank you, beloved. Shouts out to Prince. You know what time it is. We didn't call this the United States. We didn't call it America. That's their terms. We don't use their terms. We use our own terms. But by the time they came over here, which they didn't get over here until 1632, do the research. See, when I write my books, I put all this stuff in a chronological order. That's why I be taking time. So that when you learn the book, you can see the inconsistency of somebody else when they start attempting to drop information on you. Say it wasn't Alexander the Fake son of Enlil. That's a reach. Anything that came north of the Mediterranean Sea belonged to Enki and Enlil. They both established 7 cities. Mixed in with those beings, they got out of control. So they tilted the earth off a 90-degree axis and took it down. How many degrees is that? 67 degrees, and flooded that area out. And it created what you call mounds. And now you got people today talking about the mounds and the mound builders. When you looking at mounds, all mounds are covered cities that have been covered or buried by high evolutionary beings with the ability to move interdimensionally, right? But he can't be a fake son. Either he is his son or he not his son. There is no gray area, right? There is no gray area in those regards. But the Anu people, let's take you back to Genesis 1:24. Don't believe me, look it up. When they saying, then God asks, let us, the beings are saying, let us, in that verse, let us make man after our image and after our likeness. That was Enki and Enlil talking to Anu, their father. Because they seen what their father did in the land of Amun-Ra. They seen the pyramids. They seen the Baruti, the Sphinx. They seen the monoliths. And they said, hey, Let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And you know what they said? Yeah, you go take your ass north of the Mediterranean. I'm going to cut out this little piece of land for you, and y'all do that shit up there. Don't you fuck around down here. You hear me? That's what happened. Now, when you're talking about Alexander, that shit came hundreds of thousands of years later. Right? Hundreds of thousands of years later. And in that time, listen, Anu was coming from M. Y'all be so concerned about these old ass times. Y'all not concerned about your grandmamas and your granddaddies at the same rate. It's so disheartening, but it's okay. We gonna get through it. Ilion, right? M, that's what they called it. Ilion. On the other end of Sirius is Ilion. And when the Biru came into our galaxy, it crossed Sirius B. And Nibiru was so large that when it passed Sirius B, it started to pull all of the electrons out of that sun. And the whole sun started orbiting around Nibiru. And while this was happening, they looked and seen that it was a planet orbiting Sirius B. And the name of that planet was called Iduma. You follow? Iduma. And Iduma had three type of beings that lived on it. The three type of beings that lived on Iduma that orbited around Sirius B, that was now orbiting around Nibiru, was your Shaggy. You call him Bigfoot, Saskatchewan, the Wendigo, the Yeti. That being came from that particular planet called Iduma. The second type of species that was living in the waters of that planet was called the Nomos. So let me take some of this down. I'm just contextualizing this for you guys because I seen you say about the giants in the earth. I'm giving you some context so that you could something that you could that's verifiable. So you got the Shaggy, then you got the Nomos, and then you got the Markabians, right? We call them Rumeridans in the Wapik. Rumeridan means gray, right? That's the grays. Uh-oh. So they came from the planet Iduma. And their Sirius B went from a red dwarf star and it was starting to turn into a white dwarf. So what Anu did was he removed all the beings off that planet and allowed them to live on Nibiru. And they said, man, you done fucked up our home. And he said, I'm going to give you all another home. That was this planet. He said, I want y'all to go to Earth. And they started calling the Earth Iridu. They didn't put that in several movies. Iridu. Iridu means home away from home. So when you're talking about the beings in that area, the Mesopotamians, the Syrians, see how they got that long ass beard? And when they showing you the Harkamas or the Barudis, right? When they showing you this, they got long ass hair, they got hair all over their bodies. You see all the damn people in that region, they hairy as hell, ain't they? Right? He said, didn't Thoth rule over Tamari, Turtle Island? Now, see, if you want to go back to that time, you skipping too many timelines. And you got to go back to a time when we didn't have a moon. Listen, it wasn't no moon. The moon was a part of this planet at that time. And the planet was 3 times larger than what it was now because the moon was still a part of it. So that was a different type of planet than what it is now. And you're so far removed from that timeline, it's insignificant to what's going on in this timeline. So you're trying to relate to something that's not even relatable. And also, listen, during that time, there was no land. This planet was fully aquatic. There was no land. Everything lived under the water. This is an aquatic planet. It didn't start being brought out the water until the Anuna and the Anutu came to this planet and brokered a deal with the beings that stayed under the water. And even that time is far removed. See, they had to broker a deal in order to bring the land out. Yeah, Iridu, like Project Hail Mary. Yeah, you seen that in Project Hail Mary, didn't you? You see Ironita? They called it Ironita, but it's Ironitis. That's where the Teros and the Danakios come from. They put it right in the movie. But they're not gonna cite the source of where they got this from. Because it just so happened to be a nigga. Right? That's right, Judy Creation, mermaids, all that stuff was under the water. Aquaman. I gotta use terms that y'all can understand. But as far as the being said, didn't he rule Atlantis? And man, all of that shit is pseudo, right? Pseudo imagination of these Caucasians that were not genetically tied into your DNA. They don't have no divine connection. And to give you proof of this, you just got to look at their ledger. You can just, we ain't even got to go through your whole ledger. We just look over the last 100 years and we won't find one divine thing, one benevolent act that you've done on this planet over the last 100 years. Your ledger is full of blood, mayhem, chaos, confusion, and destruction. You done fucked the water up. You done fucked the air up. You done fucked up the agriculture. You done messed up the birth rate. You done threw off people's minds. People start calling themselves pronouns. I don't identify as a he or a she. I am a them and a they. Like, man, come on, man. They done fucked y'all up in 100 years. Let alone the last 1,000 years. We got to stop listening to the pink man. He can't tell you nothing but a lie. He's a deceiver. Even shouts out to Jane Elliott and Tim Wise. They agree with everything I'm telling y'all as right now. And they get on their own people ass. And shouts out to my pink brothers and sisters, because I got love for my pink brothers and sisters. I got love for everybody. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of pink people out there that's calling their own people on their bullshit. That's what needs to start happening. But so we can get on the right page and start everybody point the finger at the devil. Because you got you got melanated devils, you got pink devils, you got Asian devils, you got Indian devils. And they all working together to suppress the rest of the world and got us divided and conquering over all of us. And that's the page that I'm looking to get everybody on. But my community is based on doers. We don't deal with just sitting up here talking. You're going to have to do something. So for that one being that had that smart ass remark, I done already blocked his goofy ass. He not going to be ready to do shit. He just want to do a bunch of talking. We don't talk, we do. More than doers, we are deciders. And your decisions is going to determine your destiny. And you can't can't redact that. Once the toothpaste come out the tube, you can't put it back in. So be very judicious with the decisions you make. Because you can't rewind the day and live that shit back over again. It's not going to happen. You don't have access to that type of technology because it will corrupt you. You still thinking you a human. You hear me? A lot of y'all think you think you a human. And you a spirit occupying the human. Your body is not your own. That belongs to your mother and your father, and their mothers and fathers, 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 mothers and fathers. That's the reality. That's the put. But let's get back to my point with Iduma. Nibiru was going around Iduma. Man, I wish I had a big ass ball. I knew I got one. Hold on, let me go get a basketball. Where my son's basketball at? I know he got one. Okay, here go one. Yeah, my son's. Oh, all right. Okay, so we got the basketball here. We're going to call this Nibiru. This is representative of Nibiru. And let's just say this is Iduma. Oh, excuse me, this is Sirius B. Right? When Nibiru entered the dog star, the Sirius star constellation, the tri-star constellation within Canis Major, right? Sirius B got caught in its gravitational field and it started to orbit around it. But around it, it had a smaller planet that was orbiting around it. Let's just call it this, right? It's real tiny. And they saved those beings on that planet from an event horizon. They also took all the electrons that had been pulled by the gravitational field in Nibiru and redistributed back into Sirius B, accelerating the gravitational field of Sirius B, which caused the gravitational field of Sirius B to make Sirius A and Sirius C start orbiting around it. And because of that movement, it stopped that planet or that sun from going into a white dwarf, which it is a white dwarf now, but from going into an event horizon and causing a cataclysmic event throughout the Milky Way. And the beings that they abstracted off the planet that was orbiting around Sirius B, that name of that planet was Iduma, just in revisionist. That was the Shaggies, the Nomos, and the Mercabians. The Shaggies is your Bigfoot, the Wendigo, the Yeti. They said, hey, go mix in with those beings that's on Key, or what you call Earth, and watch over them. They said the same thing to the Nomos, who went into the marshlands. Right? They came into the marshlands. You call them Swamp Thing, sea creature. They made a movie with Lou Gossett Jr., made our ancestors be with him, called The Enemy Mine. That's the water creature. They showed it to you in Hellboy Part 1 and 2. The dude that had the little fish bowl over his head, that's a Nomos being. See how his psychic range was out off the chart? He could just touch stuff and he could see all through your consciousness and shit. The third was the gray. And they mixed into your genetics. You got your hair from the Shaggy, right? You got your aquatic nature from the Nomos. Well, it was compatible to mix in with you. And the same thing with the Mercabians, the grays. who the beings in the Happy Nile Valley, the land of Anu, the Anu people, they called them river angels. You can look this shit up. And when you look at a baby that's gestated in the womb at 57 days after conception, it got big head, it got a tiny body, it got undilated eyes, the eyes is completely black, it got a slit for a nose, it got slit for ears, and it got slit for a mouth. That's a fucking gray. Right in your blood. Giving you proof. Now what happened is that do I still got their ass up there? Yeah, it is. These burnt-faced motherfuckers kept coming around and shit, wanting to mix in, wanting to be a part of the mix of what the fuck we got going on. And the Grays would come and say, man, who the fuck is this little pink motherfucker? Bring them up on the crab. Let's get a closer observation. Let's probe their ass. And stick a probe up their ass and like, yo, man, we didn't have no deal with them. Same thing for Bigfoot. You see how they be saying, oh, I seen Bigfoot in the forest. Right? I seen Bigfoot. He disappeared. I don't know where the hell he went. Right? Up in places like Siberia, Russia, Bulgaria. Them the areas where they thrive in those mountain ranges, those mountain areas. It's easier for them to hide. They're highly psychic and telepathic. And those beings range in between the heights of 9 and 16 feet tall. And at one time, they was quite visible to the beings on this planet. And they started to mix in with you. And that's where you get the records of this in a story called Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a byproduct of the beings from Iduma. He called it the Gilgamesh Epics. Gilgamesh had a son named Enkidu. He was half shaggy and half human. They even made a statue of him. That's him. That's Enkidu. That's holding a lion in his hand. The same way I be holding Gary in my hand. Sometimes Gary will come in here and shit, and I pick him up. That's how they was holding lions. That it was showing you the seismic scale of these beings. And I'm always going over the seismic scale. And people are not putting things in its appropriate context when they be going through all this stuff. And that's okay. You know, no one is perfect. That's why it's important for you to have a teacher, a guide, an advisor. You need somebody that's a little bit more seasoned than you are. Just like on an NBA basketball court or NFL football court, which those are aliens. If you can accept it or not, anything over 4.5 feet has some extraterrestrial mixing in their blood. Right? You see what they're starting to call Wembyamba. And he's not the tallest person to ever be in the NBA, but they still refer to him as an alien. Right? He got the same type of ears as Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, Yao Ming. You hear me? So aliens is walking right amongst you, or extraterrestrials. They've been mixed into your blood and walking amongst you on the fucking planet. That shit going on right now. And what I had to do is I had to find a way to communicate to you within the range of your limited understanding of who you are. And not just who you are, but now I got to start bringing you into the awareness of what you are. And many of you are not ready for that. You're still holding on to the spells. You haven't uninstalled those programs. That's the only way that you can upload the new software system and get the upgrades and the notifications when they come is you got to uninstall that crap. You gotta decode the spells and programs that's being put on you, right? You gotta decode it. I can't stand when people attempt to get on my brothers and sisters in Christ and say, oh, the Bible is fake. That's just some bullshit. I be like, have you read the Bible? No, but I know it's fake. No, you don't. You ain't even fucking read it. Read it first. Do your due diligence. Go over the inconsistencies and point out prove it to yourself why it's fake. Then say that shit fake. Because until you do that, that program's still running in your consciousness. And I know that that's true because a lot of people call themselves God. And that's a damn religious word. Well, I'm a goddess. Same difference. That shit came out the Hyksos. And all of that came out of who? Who came up with the word God? Tell them, Keith. Tell them who came up with the word God, brother. Who came up with the word God? Because it's not that old. The word God is not that old. It's over 2,020 years old. That's right. Thank you, Keith. God by John Wycliffe. He the one that transliterated it into English. Or he transliterated it into religion. God came from the word good in German. All somebody did was they subtracted the omega and got the word God. Same thing with the word evil. They took the word evil and added a D to it, or a delta, and got the word devil. Whoever did that, they was a man, and they knew about the grimoire. It wasn't some spooker apparition that did that. That was done by a man, right? In 6 AD. Right now, you in 2026. 2026 minus 6 will give you 2020. 2020. You should get 2020 vision from what the fuck I just showed you right there. If you ain't got 2020 vision from that, you got cognitive dissonance and you still under a fucking spell. And I'm just putting it in a simple way for you to process this shit. You turn it, these people was dyslexic. Dog. What do they call dog? Man's best friend. Right? What do they refer to themselves as? Mankind. That's dyslexic. They're a kind of man. A beast man. Which is not completely a man. It's 3/5 of a man. You see that? Because they wasn't born with an umbilical cord. They wasn't born with the umbilical cord. Let me say that one more time. They wasn't born with umbilical cords. Let me get a dog emoji in the comment section for anybody that runs a dog kennel. Anybody that run a dog kennel, anybody that be breeding puppies. He said our first ancestors are the... No, I got to correct you on that. Our first ancestors was the fish in the water. That's why you got big lips like a fish. Life started in the water. It didn't start on the land, right? Another case, that's the name of that. What's the name? Yeah, that's why they smell like a dog. But anybody that run a dog kennel, they'll tell you. They don't have to clip the umbilical cord off of no puppy. It just flopped the puppies out. It's not tied to a placenta. And the same thing is said true of these beings. They don't have no placenta. They women not producing no placenta. So when you go to the hospital and you have your child and you a melanated person, and that goes from the 6th ether, Indian, Asian, whatever, they'll tell you, excuse me, ma'am, can we get you to sign this waiver? Why they didn't hit you with the epidural? First they hit you with the epidural first. Then they can we get you to sign this waiver? We want to use your placenta for science. No, they want your placenta to give it to Sarah. Because Sarah don't got no damn, she ain't had no placenta with the last 3 puppies that she produced. You hear me? This is another layer of the spells that they done put on y'all ass. They don't want you to know this. Their children are not being born with placentas. It show you that right in the book of Ezekiel. Chapter 16, verse 4. Don't believe me? Look that shit up, man. They wasn't swaddling their babies. They wasn't doing nothing. They got a ceremony that they do. Say, how do we sell it? And you got to be a little bit more. Let me see. You might have said something before that, Raul. I'm not sure. You're going to have to be a little. When y'all ask questions, I can only respond to the question that's clear. Ask the full question. Don't ad lib off of what you're hearing me saying, because I'm not seeing it at the same exact time that you typing it. And I don't know what you ad libbing from. And I don't want to assume. So when y'all put a question in the comment section, write the full question out so I could give a full, clear response to the question. I can only respond to the question as clear as it's being asked, right? But for y'all sisters, put it. I want y'all to put a dog in the comments section if you done had a baby and the doctor asks you for your placenta. Let me get a dog in the comments section if you've been asked for your placenta before from the doctors. Oh, we're doing stem cell research. Oh, you can't have your baby at home. That's against the law. You can't have a baby at home. Who told you you could do that? He said, why do you want to sell it? Said, you never been asked that question? I don't want to sell it. I said they want to sell it. They want to sell it to a woman, to a pale woman that can't produce children, for one. And for two, like I said before, many of them are not born with placentas. Not all of them, most of them. That's how they can go into a church with an AR-15 and just spray up a whole bunch of people that ain't never, old people, may I add, that never did nothing to their ass. They could go into a school and just shoot up they don't even care. That shit that happened more than once, more than twice, and the being didn't get unalived after doing that. Of recent, the guy in South Carolina, I gotta say that because they telling me to tell y'all this. Because I reposted it on my Instagram. The judge for the boy that killed those people at the church in South Carolina, and the police patted him on the back and took him to Burger King instead of taking his ass directly to jail. Y'all remember that? What did you do with your placenta, though, sister? Did you take it back home with you? Judy Creation at Gmail. Did you take your placenta home with you? If you didn't take your placenta home with you, then they just looked inside of your eyes and said, "Oh man, we ain't even got to say nothing to this girl. It's just, hey, here go your baby." And they took your placenta. But if they could see some intelligence in you, they got to ask you, hey, shit, go ahead and ask her. She might be one of those ones. Ask. Make her sign the paper. But if you know you didn't take your placenta home, and I didn't ask you what state you lived in. I asked you, did you take it home? Because you said you had your baby in the hospital. I'm asking, did you take the placenta home? Exactly. They kept that shit. They kept it and sold it to somebody that's having complications of a pale pigmentation with having children. Because they don't have placentas. I used to watch the show when they used to deliver the babies. Y'all remember that show? That was a long time ago. They used to show the woman and her third trimester. They'll follow her. Say, how much does a placenta cost? I don't know. I don't sell them. Say, I heard what you said, sister, and I said they didn't have to ask you. They looked at you and said, "Oh shit, she don't even know. Just get her ass out of here. Here go your baby. Bye." They kept your placenta. And don't think that you alone. You're not special. They do that to all of y'all. But people started pointing that shit out. Some sisters started getting smart. Many of them started listening to these real goddesses, for lack of a better word, that's on a deen and is on a knowledge, and started telling them to start having y'all babies at home and start keeping your placentas. So now when you go to the hospital and use their little Medicaid to have your baby, or use their HMOs to have your baby, they know they got to ask for your consent now. You hear me? That was the point that I was making, but that threw me off my the whole other point that I was making was that they don't have no umbilical cord. And I was telling y'all about the being in South Carolina that was the judge for that little white boy or that pale boy that killed them 9 elderly people in the church. They didn't do nothing. They was old. He wasn't even 18. How the hell he get his hands on a gun like that? And he just decided to go up in the church and start spraying everybody up. Now the name of that judge, I can't remember his name right off cups. Maybe Ricky or somebody else could go to my Instagram and pull up the name of that judge. But that judge just got arrested. Listen, he just got caught having S-A-ing. I'm going to just say S-A-ing, put the acronym together if you're bright enough. Just got caught S-A-ing a 2-year-old girl. The fuck is you doing S-A-ing a 2-year-old child? And you a judge. You sit in a damn seat of authority over people's life and sentencing them for their crimes. And you sitting up here essaying little 2-year-old toddlers? You didn't send that little boy to the electric chair? Yeah, they're not going to tell you that shit. Like, the ancestors send this type of shit for. I shared it on my Instagram. My 1089 TV Instagram. Y'all follow that one. You'll be like, damn. Pops, you seen that shit? Did you see that? Where my phone at? I'm going to pull it up for y'all ass. Hopefully it's still in my... I hope it's still in there so I can... It was just 2222. Oh, my God. We're going to have clarity in this great being time called New Tirade. We're not playing this. Hold on. I'm trying to look at my Instagram. I'm getting all these texts. Okay. Damn. Did I send it to somebody? Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to pull this shit up. Hopefully somebody liked it. And nobody... I don't know how to pull up my old videos, the light videos. What's your sexuality? But here go another one. What's your sexuality? I'm gonna show y'all this one. Sexuality. I'm gonna show y'all this one. Isn't there only one? Gay. I like men. That's my sexuality. I like men and boys. I'm just speechless. I just love the world. Oh, just I'm gay. I'm happily gay. You want to see a fashion show? Oh, yeah. That's a little boy.
It's the same men that were just talking in the previous clip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get change.
What you got, kid? Oh, look at that. So this is literally grooming happening right in front of our eyes. And a lot of people refuse to believe that this is happening within the woke LGBTQIA plus agenda. And so honestly, we need to pray against things like this.
That's just one of the type of videos I'll be reposting. I'm trying to, they just turned the power off and it just came back on. Didn't stop the live though. And shit just happened again. They don't want me to. See, you tell the truth, you shame the devil. When you tell the truth, it shames the devil. You hear me? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this mug. I'm going to try to find it. That's another one where 8 people was charged. I got to figure out how to pull up the videos that I liked on the Instagram. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to pull those videos up. Yeah, I had to. They don't want y'all to know this type of stuff, man, because everybody, it don't matter what color you are. You hear me? No, I've been talking so long that I wear the mic out. So I had to go get another mic and charge, and that's how hard I'll be going on here, man. And y'all tell me for yourself, have I been on here giving you a bunch of fluff? Hmm? Have I been on here talking a bunch of fluff? No. I'm not giving you no watered down ass information. I'm gonna wear the mic out. I'm gonna wear the phone out. When I first got on here, my phone was at 100%. Now it's at 27%. No fluff. No little light information. No little spectacle, spooky shit. You hear me? I'm gonna find that video. But it was the judge that convicted, and he gave the boy a light sentence too. They killed them 9 elderly people in South Carolina. They caught him. They caught him essaying a 2-year-old toddler. You hear me? A 2-year-old toddler. That's sick. Now the baby he did that to a Caucasian child. And like I tell y'all, shouts out to my pink people, because they be putting them motherfuckers on blast, man. I don't care what color the child is. It don't deserve that. For one, they can't defend themselves. For two, they can't even articulate what's been done to them. For three, no one is coming to their rescue. That's fucked up. You got to have something evil inside of your ass to be doing that. You got to be a beast man to be thinking like that. Do you hear me? They take that dog and lick him all in the mouth. Dog be, hey, Fredo. The dog be licking up like, come on, man. That's beastly. And a lot of you goofy ass niggas is putting, y'all trying to do it too. I'm going to lick the dog in the mouth too. Getting wardrobes for the dog. The dog got a wardrobe. Putting the dog in the stroller and shit like it's a baby. Oh, I'm a pet mom. I'm a pet mom. No, you need to be a fucking mother for real. You heard of what they call bestiality. Right? From bestiality, you get things like syphilis, gonorrhea. I hope I'm spelling that right. Herpes. What's the other one? Urinary tract infections. Call it UTIs. What's the other one? AIDS and HIV. There's some other ones too. I know I'm leaving them out. All that come from sleeping with dogs, sleeping with animals. That's how they get down. For the skull and bones, you want to join the skull and bones, you got to ride the goat. And of course, you can't be no melanated person. They don't want you a part of their shit. But you got to do something that they call riding the goat. So you got to have sex with that goat. You hear me? But this is the stuff that they put into this reality. And they don't want you to know about it. They try to cover it up and say, we should all just be the same. You should just, no, not with that shit. You need to get like me. I don't need to get like you. I was here before you. You tried to bleach me out and it didn't work. So you had to come up with lies. You got the weakest gene on the planet. And when you try to mix your gene in with anybody else, they know you are no longer in existence. And now they ain't got no choice. People in France and Italy, now they starting to take in a whole bunch of Nigerians like, hey, come here and have sex with our women. Because they can't produce children. Those places haven't had children in 4 to 5 years. They haven't had no newborns. Their generations are dying off. You hear me? But they got y'all paying attention to Jay-Z and all this other bullshit. And what was that? Did it fall?
Yes.
Yeah, we got a thunderstorm, y'all. I'm gonna have to get on off of here. Okay, that ain't too bad. I could hook that up. Yeah, I'd have been on here about 3 hours. It's 2, 3, 4 right now. We got any more questions? I'm gonna take one more question, and we're gonna use that to end the live. But we done been on here, man. How long we done been on here? So how do we discover the original names of these countries? I don't know what you mean by that. You can't go to them and get their original names, right? They're not going to tell it to you. They're not going to tell you the original name because it's like I said, it's not in their genetics. So what blood drinkers are the elites? You're going to have to be a little bit more clearer than that. You know, when they telling y'all words like, let's put this over here. Europe is Europa, right? Europa was an Ethiopian empress. Her name was Makeda. They turned that into the word Europe. See, they usurp your terms and switch it around and try to make it mean something else. But all them other little countries those they terms. Like, we didn't use the word Africa. That's their word. That's really Afrika. Afrika. That means divide in Arabic. And that's what they did to us. But the word Africa is Ganawa. That was the name of that land. All right? That's the river horse. You see that Africa is in the shape of a horse? That's the river horse, the hippopotamus. I done went over that a few times. Ganawa. That's the river horse. See, you can try to look that up and they're not going to tell you. They're going to block stuff like that out. They don't want you to be aware at that level. Because then it's like, shit, what I need to be listening to you for? And you telling me lies. I'm going to stop sending my children to your school. Yeah, Al-Qabulan is a fake name too. Right? They took that from Enlil. Enlil came up with that terminology, and that wasn't the name that he used. That's the name that they transliterated to me, right? To try to cover up who he was. They don't even want you. They don't want you to know nothing but them. I showed it to you guys before. My internet went out on my Wi-Fi, and I'm Proto Indo Euro tree. Look that word up right there for the sister that asked that. Look up Proto. I think that was Morgan. Morgan, you should know this. But start there, loved one. Start with the Proto Indo Euro tree. And look at everything that predates that. Because they put a wall around reality with their Proto Indo Euro tree, their languages, their literature, their art, and scriptures. They keep everything tied into that, and they disinclude everything outside of that range. They disinclude it. Because they don't want you to know. And if y'all go get my book, The Paruti Paradigm, it's an ebook. You have to download it. I don't know why people be having a problem downloading ebooks. And in the ebook, I show you Abyssinians, Ethiopians that occupy India and mixed in with them people. The original Dahabidians, the Indians, the Hindus, the Punjabis, and all of the rest of them, they all, right? All of them, they mixed in with you. They dark skinned. They darker than me. And I show y'all pictures of that in the Parudi paradigm, right? Good. They don't want y'all to know this, man. 1089techvision.com. Y'all gotta get this information, man. And once y'all join the community, it does take you to purchase a piece of tech. You gotta purchase you a piece of orgone. People that's into dark magic and the dark energy and hexing people, they don't like orgone. That's my vetting process. I don't care if you just get a dream tech. I don't care if you get a pop socket. I don't care if you just get a little a small pendant. But you got to get something if you want to get that access. Shouts out to Royal Disciple. I just talked to one of my people from Detroit today, and they told me that Detroit is smoky. People wearing masks. You can't even see the air. I don't know what happened in Canada, but something caught on fire. That shit happened today, you guys, in real time. Right before I came on the live. Shouts out to Royal Disciple. I don't know what's going on there, but they said it's something that happened in Toronto or Ontario, one of those cities, something that blew up, and now they got the smoke, the whole shit that came all the way into Detroit. And y'all know Detroit is 85% black people. Misnomer. So whatever it was that they put there, that's to kill those people off, man. Make them sick so that they could take over the fucking land. Say your mom in Pennsylvania. See what I'm saying? They trying to move y'all people out of it. And then y'all still gather with their goofy ass for the Macy Day parade. And they be like, look at these niggers. They're acting so ghetto. Because they don't speak another language. And they know you speak the same language as them, so they can't hide their racism from you. They got to be very cold. They have to be very overt with it. And y'all still be wanting to be around these motherfuckers like that. Stop doing that with your sleepy ass. Because I had no sympathy. Call me a cold fish if you want. I had no sympathy for these children that's taking L's on behalf of their parents that want to be down, like Brandy. I want to be down. I want to be down with you. No matter how. Day or night will do. I want to be down. Down. Do-no. M to the O to the. You want to be down with these motherfuckers. You don't even want to be down with yourself. Y'all need to wake the fuck up, man. It's late in the day. Little crazy ass little beast boy came in there and sprayed up the church. The police come pick him up. They don't take him to jail. They take this nigga to Burger King. Took him to Burger King. Then after they took him to Burger King, they took him to jail. Got the judge that likes sleeping with little 2-year-old toddlers. Right? They don't want me to show y'all that shit, but I'm going to find that video. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to put it in my story. I'm going to put his whole name and everything. All you got to do is Google the judge for that case, and he going to pop up. He just went to jail. Tuesday. On a Tuesday. Turning up on a Tuesday. Just went to jail. Just got caught. And all of your judges in your system, all of them are being funded by the NAMBLA group. I guarantee you. Look the NAMBLA group up. Look it up, y'all. I'm telling you. Your boy Will Smith down with them too. NAMBLA. See that? Look it up. Incorporated 1977. All on your Congress and everything. That's an excellent question, Morgan. Morgan be thinking, boy. Shouts out to Morgan. Yes. You know, Will Smith used to try to do stuff with his son. That's why his son got a divorce from him. That's why the son divorced him. How you get a divorce from your parents? Remember he tried to kiss them all in the mouth? Like, why was you doing that? Why? This is for entertainment purposes only. I got to say that. But that's enough, you guys. We're going to get off of here for now because I don't want to give them the chance to suspend this live. I can feel it coming. They want to suspend this. But we're going to get this uploaded. Look to my YouTube. Go to my YouTube page. Same name is in my profile to see the upload, the full extension of this video, right? Come join the 1089 tech community. We're going to extend and do a Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day so I can answer more of you guys' questions. So give me about, I got a full phone over here that's charged up. Let me get the Wi-Fi recalibrated because we did have a thunderstorm that just passed through. And we're going to be in the tech space. If y'all want to continue this dialogue, meet us there. This is Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day, the after party. I'm going to still charge my phone up and charge this mic up. But let's just say that you're my new friend. Oh, thank you, Judy. Yeah, come on in, Judy. Come join us, beloved. See, you got the Betty Boo and everything. Sunbathing. Okay, I see you. Yeah, come on. Come join the community. All my tech members, you guys want to come there, get some Tahuti Rudy Thoth Day? You're more than welcome, of course. You know that. But give me about 30 minutes to refresh myself, and we'll get to it, all right? Wadu. Remember, July the 25th, tickets still available. Link in the bio.